Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Truth, Health, and Wellness. I'm Lacey Klontz, and I'm here with Dr. Matt and Deborah St. John. Hey, guys.
Hi. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you all doing on this cold evening?
Yeah, bird.
Oh, it feels good.
We brought the
love
fall
it.
down with us.
Love it. You what?
We brought the fall down with us.
Oh, the fall. I thought you
came
said
down
the
from the sun.
pollen. I was like, what?
Nope.
Wrong
No.
season.
it's still around, but not as bad.
But there is, fall allergies and stuff. That's going on. You just went to the mountains, you were telling me?
Yes. Yeah, we went up to the
Yes.
Smokies and
How
had
did
a
the
good trip.
sinuses do out there?
Everything was great.
It was fine.
Good.
We walked. We spent one day walking. We spent 7 hours straight in Gatlinburg, and then the next day we spent 9 hours straight in Dollywood with the kids.
We're a little sore.
When did you come back?
I don't remember.
Tuesday. Yesterday.
Yesterday, last night.
I feel the pain.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, so
I've been in Disney, and last night I went to the Disney Halloween party, and they stay open really late. I mean, we didn't go to sleep until maybe 3 or 4 this morning, and then had to be up early for our flight back.
Whoa.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I've been in
Wow.
3 states today:
Oh, goodness.
Florida, Georgia, and now Alabama.
There you go.
Third
Wow,
time's
that
the
sounds
charm.
like some stuff we do.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
All the different time zones.
Different continents and different day on the same day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, though.
Yeah. So you've been at the clinic today, I guess.
We were, yeah,
after,
we were.
okay. What are you seeing a lot of today?
We had a really cool testimony.
That's
we had a
right,
lady
yeah.
come in,
Okay.
and she had spoken with me last week because she was supposed to get her labs this week, and for her kidneys, she was diagnosed as stage 3 kidney disease, and so she was kind of in a mess, and so she came to us needing some stuff, and so we helped her. We got her Kidney Clean, which is a kidney detox product that we have. And then we put her on the raw kidney, which is a glandular kidney extract. It's actually a bovine. It comes from cattle. So she started taking those, and in 2 months, she went from having stage 3 kidney disease. We just put this up on Facebook because she hand wrote a testimonial, and we just put it up. But it was in 2 months, her kidneys are well. She no longer has kidney disease.
Her doctor was speechless.
Wow.
Sitting there just looking at her.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
She said that he kept wanting to say something, and she couldn't figure out, how to get it out of him or whatever, or when it could be said. So finally, it came out as, "Just keep doing what you're doing." And we hear that a lot. But that was so exciting, that we saw
awesome.
that. So that was a neat little injection to our day, was to see, to hear from her. And then what else do we have? I had a lady.
That is awesome. Doing the Lord's work.
Absolutely, using God's medicine, and that was really. It was really cool, and we've actually used that same little combination to help so many that were having. They were close to dialysis. They were, this lady had been she was a diabetic for 40 years, and she had said had been a diabetic for 40 years, and so her kidney specialist was really happy, and we were happy about that.
She was happy too. It's very heartwarming to see someone come in the door, like flying in the door, because they are just so excited to tell you something. I mean, that's just very sweet.
It does.
Very
It
sweet.
certainly helps. It makes it
Sweet.
all worthwhile.
Warms your heart.
It does.
Absolutely.
Right?
So that was a neat part. And then what else was it today? Had a fellow had a very he was a 72-year-old male, really neat guy. I did not think he was 72. I thought I was talking like a 60-year-old guy.
That's great.
But he was 72. At least that's what he said. I believe him. And he was dealing with a psoriasis issue that he had for 40 years.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, psoriasis is rough.
Tough.
And this was on his fingernails.
I was going to, really?
It was uniquely, and he continuously gets diagnosed as having fungus, or a type of fungus, and so that's what they keep trying to treat him for, and it doesn't work. Well, it hasn't worked in 40 years. And so he started using. We got him on a program, and of course he just came to see us today. He went to 2 different of my lectures in a neighboring town at a church that we speak at every once in a while, and so he had been to 2 of those conversations, and so he came to me and saw me today. So I'm excited about his his health journey, and he's already a very healthy guy.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's the tough part, taking someone who's already
I know, because it's probably harder to find where the root cause of the issues are,
Oh,
right?
but I found it. I think I found it. The Lord gave me, well, almost like 90% through the conversation, I said, so how much protein are you getting? And because he mentioned it, his lifestyle was very interesting. And he said that he's like, well, I'm a vegan.
Oh.
So he doesn't get any animal protein at all. And so we had a long discussion about his need for amino acids and protein, and how he's going to have to really use his beans and nuts and seeds that he consumes in a very meticulous manner to get the right amount of protein, because the protein and the fats are what are going to make a huge difference in a skin condition. Of course, with psoriasis, it's an autoimmune condition. It's an
Right.
autoimmune disease that results in skin or fingernail abnormalities where you
Right.
have growth of tissue where you don't really need it, but your body thinks it does. And so it's kind of a hyperimmune response. And so it's a really difficult thing to deal with for most people. A lot of times we use evening primrose oil, which has an active ingredient called gamma-linoleic acid, or GLA. Put him on some black seed oil, topically and internally, because I'm a huge new advocate of black seed oil or black cumin seed oil. It's amazing stuff. I didn't take mine this morning, by the way. And she doesn't want to take it for anything. She really doesn't. She does not like black seed oil, but I do.
Does it not taste good? Is it like that? It's a liquid form? Or?
I don't really know. It just sticks around with me for so long during the day. Like even after I eat, I just can't kind of get rid of the taste in my mouth.
It's like you take a little bit of oregano oil, right? A few drops of oregano oil, and then add in some, I don't know, let's say castor oil Syntec. Or maybe, some.
It's just very oily.
It's just a straight motor oil.
Super oily.
So it's an oily oil, and it doesn't
It's
have
an
a great.
oily
It's
oil.
an oily oil, and so it doesn't have a great taste. But to me, it's kind of neat because it has that sort of aftertaste of it's the carvacrol that's in it, the active ingredient that's the same as in oregano oil. So it's
Well, everybody's a little different,
an acquired taste.
and it's not bad going down. Like, I can take it fine, but it's the, 2 or 3 hours later when I'm still tasting it, that's the problem.
Yeah, 4 hours
And,
later, and you're
he doesn't seem to have that problem, but I don't know. I don't like it as much.
I have the same problem, but I just go ahead and
He
just
doesn't cry about it like
I
I
just
do.
grin and bear it and understand how much it's helping me. But we
Oh, my
recommend the black
goodness.
seed oil, and also what else did I recommend? Paul Diarco. Even though it is an antifungal and used a lot for fungus, it's useful for a lot of those types of
Like
conditions.
psoriasis type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious because you think you figured it out because of the not enough protein, so that's linked.
Well,
in a way, or-
it was an interesting correlation because it was. Of course, he made sure he's like, well, but I've had the psoriasis for longer than I've been a vegan. But I'm like, well, yeah, you said 40 years, and we're talking 40 years, so 40 years and 40 years.
40 years?
Is 40 years. And so if you changed your lifestyle 40 years ago and you've had a particular health condition for 40 years, then most likely there may be a link. And so that's where we were looking there. And I think that he'll be getting some really good help in the very near future. Psoriasis takes a while. It's an autoimmune issue, so it's people can see relief pretty quickly with it if they'll be diligent, and he will be. I know he will be. He's a very disciplined, intelligent guy.
Good. Well, keep me posted
Yeah, absolutely.
on that. Yes, absolutely. So that actually kind of leads me in a different direction. So we're talking about not getting enough protein, that might be a factor for psoriasis, just maybe, or something.
Possibly. It just depends. I mean, collagen
So,
formation, and there's several things.
Yeah. Well, okay, what if someone is a picky eater and they have these issues? How can they get protein by being a picky eater?
Well, you have to look at what they'll eat. I have to go through a list with people. I'll be like, well, do you eat eggs? No. And then I'll literally look at them, and if they say no, I'm like, come on. But if the person eats eggs, then right out of the gate, you have an immediate, high-quality source of protein.
Organic only.
Organic only, especially, if you want to stay healthy with it. But you get those eggs, and the amino acid profile is very complete. And so the only thing really better than egg protein is arguably like whey protein, so it's that's a great source of protein. Chicken, fish, lean beef, Those are excellent sources. But once again, now you're getting into the meats, and some people are just they don't want to eat meat, or they don't want to eat that much meat. I've never met a chicken that I wanted to snuggle with, have as a pet, or communicate with.
Nope.
We never communicated very well with them, and so as a result, I feel like chickens are here to eat. I've never met a cow that seemed like it was good for much of anything other than human consumption. But that's just me.
And milk,
That's the way we look at it. We did have a bird. Remember our bird?
Yeah.
We started feeding it protein. We raised a wild bird. We found it at Martin's. It was a baby, had its little mouth
Fell
open.
out of
Oh,
it.
so
Fell out of its
we're not
nest.
talking about Ruby. That's the
No,
one.
no, no. Ruby's
Okay.
Ruby's the parrot down the Amazon. No, I wish we had known her since she was a little one, but Ruby's amazing. I miss Ruby.
I know.
And so miss all of you guys in the Amazon. So, but yeah, this little baby bird was outside of Martin's, and we picked it up, and we were in our motorhome. We started raising the bird. It was really sweet, really nice. Really, I mean, the bird would like fly out of the cage and land on your shoulder and like peck at your ear and, tell you they wanted to be pet. And I know you love birds.
I
And
cannot
so we
stand
would pet the little bird, and it would chirp and tweet, and it'd be wonderful. Then
I
we
mean,
tried.
I hand fed the thing,
Oh yeah, and we from
For months.
and so we took it out to go release it into the wild at Little River Canyon up at the preserve in Fort Payne, and so we go out to release it. And we have a video of the whole thing, and we kept trying to release it, and it would fly, and then it would come back and land right back on
You
us.
domesticated it.
It did not want to leave us. It
3
was
or
the
4 different
sweetest little
times.
bird.
That's
so
so
finally
sweet,
we're
though.
like, so all the kids are like, Dad, it loves
gotta
us.
keep
We got to
it."
keep the bird. I said, we're not going to keep the
Dad,
bird.
can we keep it?
Yeah, can we keep the wild bird? And so I said, well, we'll keep it a little bit longer. So we kept it a little bit longer. Well, during its growth, we realized that I don't know why we did it. The mealworms.
Yeah, just
At some
just to
point,
get
we were
us something
told
new.
that we needed to buy mealworms, little
Little
dried
dried
worms, and that it would eat. Yeah, it's gross. And so we started feeding it the worms. Do you know what happened to that bird after about the 3rd day of it eating worms?
It abandoned you to
It-
go get more.
Well, it turned into a mean, ornery, wild bird.
Really?
It left, the sweetness
Really?
left, the protein came and the sweetness left. I'm talking, it was amazing. And it sort of, this once again, the 72-year-old fella today sort of triggered me a little bit in this idea of, because he's also a preacher. Like I said, with the Adventist guy, he's super sharp. Guys are really sharp. And so, I don't know, got a little convicted. I started thinking about it. I told him the story of the bird. Of course, all he did was lean back and say, you see? I'm like, oh, I'm proving my own point. But yeah, that bird was mean, and of course, then we went to release it, and it just took off. I think it shot us a bird after it died.
After it
Is that what
had
he
the
was doing? Oh,
protein.
he's holding up the first finger. Okay, good. Producer. Guy.
So what I am hearing is
And then it's
you
a minute
can
to a
be
commercial.
sweet,
Oh.
but if you eat meat, you will not be sweet.
Well, I don't want to say
don't
that
know.
because because what I feel.
That's why I'm so
when
nice,
I see
because
when
I
see-
don't eat. I'm kidding.
When I see humans who are people who are vegans, they normally are a little bit less intense, a little bit less
Maybe all that protein
aggressive.
triggers your nervous system a
well,
little bit.
It would be hormones. It'd be like testosterone. And so I would love to see some
Oh.
studies on testosterone in protein in the human diet, because we know that branched chain amino acids and certain protein combinations can help trigger testosterone. I personally like being potentially violent. My family enjoys the fact that I can defend them, and that if somebody
Okay.
comes into my home, they're not probably going to walk out of the home. We don't, I mean, she tells me the same thing. Every time I start to get ill or we get into some sort of incident, either it be here in Peru, the Amazon, or whatever, first thing she tells me,
Don't get arrested.
that's right. That's a common thing that I hear. Good advice, by the way. Now I guess we need to go to break on that.
Yeah, on that note, don't get arrested and don't go away, because
That's
we will
right.
be right back.
At DVP Auto Group, we have a wide selection of any type of car you could want. We offer financing for all types of credit. Not only can we help you to purchase a car affordably, but we can help you with any issues you may experience with your car as well. We provide oil change, tire repair, brake service, or anything else you may need. We also gladly accept trade-ins, and if you're willing, we can help you drive away in a new car the same day. If you don't see something you like in the lot, we'll help you find one, whether you buy from us or not. Come see us today.
At Southern States Bank, we pride ourselves on being your bank. We're your neighbors and involved in the community. We're the bank featuring the Southern Rewards checking account, a cashback account with no ATM fees. We are on the cutting edge and always have a smiling face to help you out. So come to Southern States Bank, where we are committed to great service and being a great neighbor. Let us be the bank for you and your business.
At Family Prosthetic and Medical Supply, we care about you. We offer custom prosthetics, orthotics, diabetic shoes, and durable medical supplies. We're located here in Alexandria, Alabama, where it's a country feel but professional care. Come see us today.
The Point at JSU is an off-campus student housing property located a half a mile away from Jacksonville State University. The Point offers fully furnished, pet-friendly, 2 bedrooms and 4 bedroom units. Resident experience is our #1 priority, therefore we do offer the following amenities: a resort-style pool, fitness center, basketball and volleyball court, and dog park. We would love for you to come see our property, so give us a call at 256-376-8317 to schedule a tour today.
Welcome back to Truth, Health, and Wellness. Again, I'm Lacey Klontz with Dr. Matt and Deborah St. John. Now, before the break, we were talking about how eggs make you mean and how men should be potentially violent. No, I'm kidding.
And maybe you should, don't
Kidding.
feed worms to your bird.
There you go. Don't do it, or just don't get a bird. That's how
Well, you know what? If something needs to be in a cage for you to have it, I'm really not certain that you should have
it.
I mean, I'm sorry. That's just my personal belief.
No, I agree. I agree. I agree.
I just don't know about
believe in
cages and
freedom.
animals. Well, the first time that I was standing in the jungle in Santa Ana, Peru, on the Amazon River in a hut, a lady named Sadith was making lunch for us. A parakeet, which they call a parrot, flies in, lands over on a corner. I walk over to the bird. It looks at me. I put my hand over next to it. It leans into my hand. And then I start petting the bird. And the little bird just lays there and cuddles with me and
Did it
ends
bite
up
you?
falling asleep. No, it never bit me. It loved me. And so then I pet it and I pet it. And I did 5 minutes I was spending with this bird. It falls asleep in my hand. Magical moment. Then Deborah wanted to pet it.
Magical moment.
And then-
it's like
and
you're
then
a
it bit her.
Disney princess, like you're petting the
I was a
forest
Disney princess
animals
for a
and-
minute.
He was,
Me
yeah.
in the Amazon jungle being a Disney princess with my little bird. And then I had my time with it. And then you went over and you pet it.
And it bit me.
Yeah, not bad.
I bet it was a girl. It was jealous.
That's what she theorizes.
That's what I
yeah.
always theorize is a
Yeah.
jealous bird.
Well,
Or it's just a
Ruby-
bird.
Well, our
And birds
bird
are
Ruby,
awful.
our bird Ruby does seem to prefer males.
Yeah.
And it has something to do with Ruby in that if you carefully walk up and try to coerce her into, like being, whatever, being friendly, she won't really do it. If you walk up to this bird and grab her by the back of the neck and like pet her and like kind of manhandle her a little bit, she's fine with
It's
it.
aggression.
She actually was the Ruby, our
So she
parrot.
likes potentially violent men.
I guess so.
Yeah, that's another story. That makes me feel a little weird now. So next, what was it you had as another question?
Speaking of eggs, one of their listeners has asked, there are certain foods that my child is allergic to. Eggs seems to send her wild. Is there anything that I can do to get her over these allergic times so that she will not be as allergic to the eggs?
That's cool because mom's really pushing for the egg consumption, I've noticed in this question, or dad.
Eggs send her wild.
Yeah,
Yeah, in other words, it sounds like
interesting.
behavioral issues
Yeah,
from the
that's a
sound of
strange-
it, which normally eggs will help calm kids. So there's something about this child, I would just have to see the child and have to deal, deeper, but there's something about the child that seems like they're sensitive to possibly the amino acids. I don't know. I would
could
also
be.
wonder if they have any reaction to beef or if they have any reaction to fish or if it's, the protein or if it's just literally the eggs. What I would recommend for the first thing would be to get some organic eggs. Free-range organic eggs that say certified organic with a little government seal, even though I don't believe in government entities very much these days. But it is important to look for that USDA certified organic seal when it comes to organic foods these days. Otherwise, people just lie. And so you get those eggs, try a few different ways of cooking those eggs. It might even be, it could be the butter or the margarine or the oil that they're using to cook the eggs with. It could be a variety of things. So the thing is, get you some organic eggs, get you some butter, get you some, I don't know, some sort of organic oil, and just try to test a few different ways of giving those eggs. Try fried eggs. We like fried eggs now.
I love fried eggs.
Fried eggs are the way to go for us. She hated fried eggs, and I mean, for a long time until we were finally in the jungle.
Yeah.
Well, we were in the city in the jungle. We were in Iquitos, and Fabiola. We need to give a shout out to Fabiola.
She couldn't understand,
scrambled
language barriers. She couldn't understand scrambled.
She ended up with fried eggs.
She kept giving me fried eggs
for like 3 days in a row, and so finally on the third day, she's like, "Oh,
I guess
like
I
the
got
fried
to eat these or I'm gonna die.
eggs."
Yeah.
So I did.
And they
it was
were,
fun.
They're very good. Going back to that butter thing that you said cooking, that leads to our next question that we had. Which is better for my heart, butter or margarine?
Oh gosh.
Whoa.
I'm going to add an option C and say, or neither?
No, there's a big difference. Comparing butter to margarine is like comparing heaven to hell, nearly.
Which one's heaven, which one's hell?
Well, the butter would be more heavenly. Butter naturally comes from a cow.
Margarine's
plastic. So you either want to eat plastic that was made to...
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's one molecule away from plastic.
You do not want to consume margarine. It was originally made for some other complete reason than human consumption.
What was that reason?
I cannot remember.
Google.
I think it was to, maybe it was
We're gonna
axle
find out.
grease. So your margarine was supposed to be axle
It was
grease.
for some animal reason, and I can't remember exactly. But it was not made originally for human consumption. Then they had so much of it, they needed to figure out something to do with it. So they
kind of like corn and high fructose corn syrup. Instead of using sugar cane during the Cuba embargo, which we still have, when we began the whole deal with Cuba, we were relying on them so much for sugar cane that the United States government gets together and figures out, along with the farmers, a way to incorporate something we have in this country in excess of, and to be able, it sounds like a nice plan, except for the fact that high fructose corn syrup literally causes you to have obesity and die. Not to mention learning issues and the sorts of things that we would think that this lady who was asking about the eggs would be dealing with her kid, but learning issues. And so, long story short, butter is 1,000 times healthier than margarine.
This is the answer that I keep coming across on why margarine was originally invented.
Oh, it was designed to provide a cheaper alternative to butter for the French military and working class during a time of food shortages. Well, I mean, look at what happened to the French.
Now I feel like...
Yeah, they won't fight a war. They won't do anything. They just roll over. That's what happened. You eat margarine and you just become a weakling.
You are no longer a potentially aggressive male if you do that.
Too many croissants and not enough protein.
Croissants.
And so, invention, French. It was invented by the French. That should be enough right there.
Oui.
That should be enough just to disregard margarine.
Bonjour.
They've probably banned it by now.
France? Well, they banned glyphosate.
I know.
99.99% of all French people have glyphosate in their urine.
Because of their wine, right?
And no French wine. There's not one single French wine that you can get from France that doesn't have glyphosate. They've never tested in the past 5 years a French wine that didn't contain the pesticide glyphosate.
But they banned it recent.
Banned it two years ago, I think, in 2022.
I wonder if they still have that in their systems.
Oh, they do.
do.
Oh, they do. You got to get rid of it, and you can't. It doesn't just go away. You got to chelate it through fulvic acid, bentonite clay, or some other way. So they're just the French people just run around with. And it's not just the French. It's also it's because they're so concentrated. All their crops and everything. This person sprays their field. Well, you may as well say your field is sprayed because it's all just carrying over because you don't have enough land there. California, for example, that one of your only sources of an organic wine, a wine that doesn't have glyphosate, would probably be California. All these liberal things that California's been doing for the past 30 years, it's kind of interesting because they are actually on the cutting edge of health.
Yeah,
they are on the cutting edge of human safety and actually consumer safety. So, it's like the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals.
Or 7th or 8th, I can't remember.
I think it's the 8th, who normally I would disagree with almost every judgment that they have. They've been the only ones siding with health agencies against companies like Monsanto and others who are making all these chemicals that are killing people. And so it's, California is basically helping us out in this country. They used to say, I remember hearing it when I was a kid, whatever goes to California eventually takes a decade to get to Alabama.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not really that way anymore because of the internet, but trends, fashion, all these different things, it takes time to come over. Now it comes over faster, but when it comes to people's health, when it comes to advanced now obviously when it comes to gun control, things like that, they can have that in the trash can. I don't like anything about California or any aspect of their political system or anything like that. But when it comes to how they look at consumer affairs, there's a lot of really good legislation that has helped the entire world that's began in California.
That's true.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very good to know.
There you go.
Giving them some good credit.
We went to California one time.
Me too.
And
once.
we went, well, yeah, we went a couple of times, but this one time we went on Route 66. So Santa Monica's at the end of Route 66.
Right.
So we have our motor home, we got our kids, it's COVID season. So it's like, wow,
Yeah.
and so we get there and everybody's in their mask and everybody's afraid. And so we pull up to this checkpoint, and literally it's a checkpoint at the California border, like another country. And they ask you, do you have any agriculture? Do you have any fruit or whatever? And of course, I'm thinking, dude, this is a motorhome. Do you not think we have some strawberries in the back? But I'm like, no. And so then he's like, do you have any animals? About that time, Cookie jumps in my lap. And so she literally jumps in my lap with her adorable little ears poked up, and she makes one little bark at him. And of course, then at that point, I didn't have, he's like, y'all go ahead. He was happy. Everybody's smiling. It was funny. It was wonderful. But yeah, they'll search your motorhome at the California line for, I guess, fruit, in case you're
bringing it in.
Bringing in fruit you shouldn't be bringing into California from Nevada.
Forbidden fruit.
Forbidden fruit from Nevada or wherever. And so it was it is interesting when you go to California. We were happy to get in and get out. We had a great time.
We had a great time.
It was wonderful.
I had fun the one time I
beautiful.
went there.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
The mountains.
Oh, yeah. It's
driving
gorgeous.
in,
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
route we were taking into California, when we started driving into California, the mountains on both sides, it was just the most beautiful sight
And we
I've
were
ever seen.
following the train. We were sitting there
It was so
the whole
beautiful.
time. We're like following this train. And it
I'd
was
like to go back just to see
scenic and
that.
surreal. It was wonderful. Of course, then we got out in L.A. We got to L.A. We pulled up in our motorhome. First place we were going to go to.
It was the Hollywood
Boulevard. Seeing the stars, Hollywood stars.
That's where I went. That was
Yep.
a lot different than you thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
right?
we pull that motorhome right up, and we're thinking, okay,
The
this
kids,
street,
they're like,
this street looks okay. And we're at a motorhome, but it's the size of 2 vehicles, so we just paid 2 meters. But the first thing I saw when I get out in California, it's beautiful and everything else, and we're there, we're going to see the Hollywood stars. We pull up, I open the door, we get out, and there is a big pile of human feces sitting on the ground,
on the
sidewalk. And I'm pretty sure that the fella who had done it was laying there next to it, and so then as we're going through and looking at the Hollywood Walk, whatever they call it, it was kind of cool because there was this lady who she had there are a few stars that have nothing on it, and they have a bunch of letters and things, and you just pay them $10, and they'll make a star in your family name, and then we all stood around it and posed.
Yeah,
She was probably
put your name
yeah,
on
I think it was all illegal, but it was fun. And then we saw Donald Trump's star. Actually, we didn't see the star because some guy that was dressed up as Frankenstein brought a sledgehammer and busted it to pieces.
it was the Hulk.
Oh, the Hulk, yeah. And he destroyed it like a week before we got there. Yeah.
Of course he did.
Yeah, and so that was interesting. That was
Then
a
Cookie
lot.
pooped on a star.
Which
Yep.
one? Whose star?
It was funny, whoever it was. It was somebody we didn't like. Who was that?
I can't remember, but
Oh.
we had to run off. It was like, oh no. Run.
Yeah, we didn't get time for even a pick, I don't think, on that one.
Yes.
We did get a pick of the star, but anyway, it was great. But California is a nice place to visit and an excellent place to leave.
I thought you were going to say live.
No,
That's what it's. That's how my brain registered that.
that's why I do that.
I've been in 3 states today, so I'm a little.
Little grog.
But just one continent, maybe.
That's true.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I think
but
you're.
3 states is still a lot. That's impressive.
Oh, well, that is about all the time that we have for tonight. Everyone stay bundled up. The temperatures are dropping. We are not used to that here in the South, so just be prepared. And we will see you again right here next Wednesday night on Truth, Health, and Wellness. I'm Lacey Klontz with Dr. Matt and Deborah St. John. Have a great night.